You know, I was thinking if I was going to do a review on this show, and I was actually thinking of doing separate reviews for this, but you know what? I might as well let the 2 nights pass this weekend and then I'll review this show. I think after, I would say this, to get the bad taste of SmackDown out of people's mouths and everything from Friday, because that show was really bad and whatnot, especially with dog food. Let's go to a better wrestling program this weekend, huh? Let's go to an NJPW with the New Beginning and Sapporo shows. And a lot of New Beginning shows over the week, especially in Osaka next week, which we'll get into later on too. But I thought about it like, you know what? I'm glad I watched this because at least it gets the bad taste of SmackDown out of people's mouth. Even I told people, hey, if you thought SmackDown was bad, hey, watch this show. This will be a better outlook for you, okay? And there was a lot of things going on, stuff I didn't even expect. But as the build-up, especially for a lot of matches in Osaka next week, there were still some big matches tonight in the New Beginning. And in the New Beginning in Sapporo, I decided, you know what, I'll just combine both Night 1 and Night 2 review. I was going to do separate ones, like I did with Wrestle Kingdom, but there was a difference between that and Wrestle Kingdom, to be honest, maybe because Wrestle Kingdom was damn near longer and almost pretty much every match mattered in there, which I'm not saying these don't either, but, that was their biggest show of the year. So I'm just going to combine these this time because there's a lot going on, from title matches to Jon Moxley being back in New Japan, because he's got to be on Osaka next week. I don't know if he's going to be on AEW this week. Possibly will. I don't know. But we'll get into all of that, though, because there is a lot to say in both Night 1s and Night 2 in Sapporo, because a lot of New Beginning shows. The USA show is going. I'm going to speak a little about that, too, because there was some important information overnight that was addressed on there. But, of course, Kevin Kelly, Gino Gambino, and Chris Charlton were on commentary. We kicked it off with Taiji Ishimori and El Phantasmo, Bullet Club, versus Uemura and Tiger Mask. Good opener for the beginning. Of course, I'm sure you all know who expected the win. Pretty much Ishimori and Phantasmo. Ishimori putting a crossface on Uemura for the win. I think if you go up and look at the backstage comment, the story of Tiger, I think Tiger Mask getting pissed at Uemura, like, what was that? Because, he's the mentor and, Uemura is the young boy and whatnot. He says, screaming is not going to help. You have to do more, basically, training him and whatnot. That's what they do with a lot of young boys, I believe. But it was a little good opener for what it was. Next, Togi Makabe, Tsubaki Hamna, GBH, and Toa Nare versus Hiroshi Tenzan. Manabu Nakanishi, who is on his retirement tour right now and will be retiring on the 22nd, I believe, in Osaka Joe Hall. And Yota Tsuji, good match. It's a good tag one. It's okay. Like I said, the story here is Nakanishi retiring and whatnot. I just know Toa got the that rock bottom on Tsuji for the win, so yeah, the young boy's gonna take the pinfall and whatnot. So another good match too. What was it? 8-man tag, 6-man tag. Zack Sabre Jr., Suzuki-gun, El Desperado, and Yoshiharu Kamaru versus Chaos. Will Ospreay, I'm sorry, Doki also with Suzuki-gun, 8-man tag. What am I talking about? Will Ospreay, Roppongi 3K, and Ryusuke Taguchi. Basically, this entire 6-man was just giving you a preview for title matches, because next week the IWGP tag belts will be on the line with Roppongi 3K and Suzuki-gun, and when we get to the Night 2 part of it, Zack Sabre Jr. versus Will Ospreay for the RevPro British World Heavyweight Championship. Taguchi ended up getting the win on Dokido with his Bumbaye, that butt thing he does, and I forget his finisher's name, but he had to beat Doki, I know that. So this was giving you a preview for tomorrow night. Ryu Lee, Dragon Lee, whatever you want to call this guy, the current Ring of Honor television champion, and Robbie Eagles versus LIJ, Hiromu Takahashi, and Bushi. Of course, when you see Hiromu and Dragon Lee, you know these guys are going to chop the hell out of each other in the beginning. This was a good 6-man, when I say 6-man, a good tag team match. Blow my nose for a second here. I gotta go pick up some Mucinex today when I finish this review, but And once again, this is just another preview, especially for the title match next week and the Never Boys 6-man belts on the line. Pretty much, Eagles got the Rob Miller special Bushi for the win, but it was still a really good tag match. Give you a preview for next week. So, great stuff from all four of these guys here. And whatnot. Next, another tag team match. Bullet Club, Kenta and Jay White versus LIJ, Naito and Sonata. Another good tag match here. Once again, give you a preview. Like I said, title matches and single match for next week. Finishing it up with Gedo using the steel chair on Sonata as he tried to get the roll up after, he got distracted. He tried to get the roll up on him, but after he got hit by a chair, Jay White ended up hitting Sonata with a roll up, getting the win. So it was good. I must say, I like Kenta more and more. The guy's a good heel, especially mocking the crowd and whatnot. I did like one thing I thought was funny throughout this match where everybody kept rolling in and out the ring and whatnot, and Jay White is like, get in the ring, motherfucker. Like, I don't want you. You ain't gonna do shit. Tag that bitch in, okay? He's telling the night on text. Jay White is hilarious. I know they overdo the cursing a lot in New Japan, but that shit is fucking gold to me, okay? Even with Kenta just could just go from speaking Japanese to speaking English because we know he can speak both languages and whatnot. So I find it hilarious sometimes, especially when they mock the crowd and mock LIJ with their poses and whatnot. But once again, giving you a preview for next week. Okada and Jon Moxley versus Taichi and Minoru Suzuki. This was great. Once again, another preview, but of course, Jon Moxley still wearing the eye patch, which they didn't mention AEW by name, but they did mention that Chris Jericho, of course, hit him with a spike to his eye, so he is still selling that injury, even on New Japan. Got to keep kayfabe here, because even I wonder if the whole AEW thing kind of crosses over with New Japan in a way, the whole storyline. So he does still have that eye patch on and whatnot. So, excuse me, he still has that eye patch on and whatnot. So it was he's still kind of keeping that whole thing together. So I know they didn't really mention it much, but they just mentioned Jericho hit him in the eye, but he still had the eye patch on. Basically, throughout this tag match you mostly saw Suzuki and Mox beat the living hell out of each other, giving you a big brawl as a preview and whatnot. I will say it's an interesting tag team between Okada and Jon Moxley. It's one of those strange things that are just good, though, for some reason, okay? But this was insane. Mox and Suzuki just hitting these big moves on each other. Even Mox, he was going to hit him with the wind-up punch, but just ended up slapping Suzuki in the face there. And Suzuki just looked even more pissed off. Of course, Okada and Taichi ripping off the pants and whatnot. But Okada hit him with a Hurricanrana to take him down. Like I said, the brawl continued. Pretty much as Mox was going to Taichi, so Okada get back in the ring. And then when it kind of came between Mox and Suzuki, of course, Suzuki was kind of focusing on the eye and whatnot, but he got the better of Mox, dodging the Death Rider, and then putting him in the sleeper before he put him in the Gotch-style neutralizer, getting the pinfall over Jon Moxley, especially a big preview for next week for the U.S. title match. But pretty much then, right after, Taichi started choking Okada with a cable cord and whatnot. He was getting hit with the iron finger thing from Iizuka and whatnot, but the iron glove, but Okada ended up drop kicking him. Zack Sabre Jr. came out for the save, them choking out Okada and whatnot, putting more pressure on his neck. He still got hit by the iron glove. Ospreay tried to make the save, but Zack hit the Zack driver on him. As they were about to walk to the back, Taichi went back for Okada and hit him with a Black Mephisto on the stage. Pretty much says, alright, I beat Okada. You don't need to come tomorrow, okay? I'm going to beat you again like you were a young lion 12 years ago. I'll get to the story when we get to that match later on, though. Evil versus Tomohiro Ishii. Again, I feel like I've seen this match a lot of times, but man, can these guys beat the hell out of each other. I'll give them that. Especially Ishii there. Ishii just hit some big stuff half the time. Now, these guys are pretty much throwing fucking blows in there, of course. Crazy moves, which I actually thought Evil was about to get the win with Everything is Evil, especially after hitting multiple half-and-half suplexes on Ishii, which Ishii countered into doing that too. They hit some headbutts and whatnot and some clotheslines, but Ishii got the better of Evil, hitting him with a big brain buster for the win. I did not know that, this thing, I've seen these two faces singles matches before, but I did not know that Ishii what is Evil 0-9 against Ishii. If you look at the total record, I actually looked that up because the last time I did see it, Ishii did beat Evil. So once again, Ishii has beaten him again because they will be fighting for the Never Overweight 6-man tag titles, I believe, this later on this week in the Korakuen. LIJ versus Ishii, Goto, and Robbie Eagles and whatnot. But this was a preview, of course. But Ishii got the big win over Evil, though, taking him down. So a big brawl match with both of these guys, beating the hell out of each other. So always a hard hitting match, especially when you got Ishii in the flow. You know it's gonna be some crazy shit going on with him in the ring. But we ended the show for night one. Never Openweight title on the line. Hiroki Goto versus Shingo Takagi. Once again, another crazy hard-hitting match right here or whatnot. I really have to go buy some Mucinex today. But yes, another hard-hitting match for both of these guys right here. Which, once again, crazy stuff, whatnot. Especially who was going to either dodge the GTR or the Made Japan. I was actually expecting Shingo to go for a big pumping bomber to take down Goto, but it did not happen. He ended up hitting 2 Made in Japans for the win. A great match for both of these two. What do you go, 20 minutes out there. So, one thing I'll say about this, good thing Shingo's getting a single push also right now. Goto, which, like they said before, Goto... he always gets that Never Openweight belt just to lose it again to someone right after he wins it. I've seen this before, too. It's like, he gets the belt. I remember, like, about a year ago, I believe, who did he beat? Taichi, I believe, for the title. And then he loses it to Ospreay, like, under the next month before Wrestle Kingdom. I remember, for last year's Wrestle Kingdom, I do remember that. And now, like, he literally won the title, like, last month back in Wrestle Kingdom. And now you just lost it, so... Goto, yeah, and I know a lot of people on the internet do that like Goto, because he said something in an interview about coming to a triple champion or whatnot, holding the Never Openweight, the 6-man, not the 6-man, but the Never Openweight IWGP title and Intercontinental. I just remember someone made this joke saying that there's a reason why Goto has the Never Openweight title, because he will never get anywhere higher than the Never Openweight title, which it looks like that sometimes with him. And Goto's not bad in the ring. It's just, I think a lot of people find it boring. I've seen a lot of people speak on it before. But the guy always puts on a hard-hitting match, though, people say, like he did with Kenta back at Wrestle Kingdom and whatnot. But, I feel like Goto's had that belt, what they said, like 5-6 times he's had that title, and it just keeps following him, it looks like, all the time for some reason. But it's like he wins the belt, but then he loses it again right after. Shingo, I guess you could call him Shingo 2 belts right now. We got a lot of double champions in LIJ right now. A lot of double championships. So Shingo Takagi is now the Never Openweight and the Never Openweight 6-man tag team titles right now. So Shingo 2 belts in the building, I guess, if you want to say that. But Shingo winning the title, of course, he talked right after, talking about telling everybody not to leave. I got double gold now and whatnot, and this is my start. You know, Naito say he's the top champion and everything. He's the double champ, but I'm going to make this title. I'm going to make this title big and everything. This is my title. And now this is the new double champion. You will feel the roar of the dragon. So Shingo, which the Never, I call it the Never Openweight title is the belt of who can hit who the hardest, if you ask me, because I've seen these matches before for the Never Openweight championship, and basically, it's almost like I wouldn't say it's a shoot half the time, but I feel like who can hit who the hardest when you're fighting for that belt, because I've seen matches between Suzuki and Ishii and Shibata. I think that's when I started getting more into New Japan at the time. Goto, Kenta, Ishii. So that's what I usually call the Never Openweight Championship, of who can hit who the hardest. But this does feel new with Shingo getting it. I feel like Shingo's getting a bigger push right now than kind of what he did a little bit last year. Well, he has a good push last year, but I feel like he had a bigger push now. I'm getting more than this year. Hey, he's already held 2 belts right now, so call him Shingo 2 belts if you want to say that. But I do look forward, because, I think the Never Openweights, you can fight between the heavyweights and the junior heavyweights, even when you kind of walk past show on commentaries, like, you want this belt, you ain't getting it. So we could see a match from that in time. Come on, Ospreay was the Never Openweight champion before. We saw that. Come on, go back to the match right here in Ibushi last year at Wrestle Kingdom. You saw they beat the hell out of each other on that when fucking Ospreay nearly killed Ibushi, hit him with that hidden blade to the back of the head. So that's why I always say that title is like who can hit who the hardest. I feel like sometimes you're gonna see a brawl and a fight when fighting over the never openweight championship. So there's a reason why it's like between, you know, the junior heavyweights and the heavyweights. But I will say one thing about that belt. That belt changes hands a lot. Like a lot. Even somebody said last year going into Dominion, that belt changed like 5 times or 6 times. And that was in the middle of the year, I believe. So the belt goes back and forth a lot. But ending night 1, we go to night 2 then, the beginning of the show. Toa Henare versus Yota Tsuji. Henare got the win, a good opener. Versus rock bottom move. Manabu Nakanishi, Hiroshi Tenzan, and Tiger Mask versus Makabe, Hamna, and Uemura. Once again, another good tag match here. Or whatnot. Tiger suplex on Uemura, so Tiger Mask can get the win. El Phantasmo versus Gabriel Kidd. I don't know a lot about this guy. They said they fought in the UK before. Because, you know, Phantasmo is like the RevPro Cruiserweight champion over there. So he got the win with a big splash. A good match start on this Gabriel Kidd dude. He's a young boy, but they say he fought in the UK before. Don't know a lot about him, but it was still a pretty good match, though, with both of these two. Goto, Ishii, and Eagles. I guess this is a preview versus Shingo, Evil, and Bushi. Shingo 2 belts out there, even though they got fighting the Korakuen for these titles later on. And whatnot. Like I said, it was just a preview match, even though the real match is coming. Once again, Eagles gets the win over Bushi with the Ron Miller special, but it was still a good preview for the match coming up in Korakuen soon enough. Next, another 8-man tag, Suzuki-gun, Suzuki, Desperado, Kamaru, and Doki versus Jon Moxley, Shoyo, and Taguchi. Basically, this match was, number 1, when Mox even came out, Suzuki was like, fuck your entrance. He just basically goes into the crowd and just starts fighting Moxley up there. Most of this match is either Suzuki and Jon Moxley beating the living dog crap out of each other, or just almost looked like a 6-man tag at first throughout time, because both of these guys brawled throughout the arena, on top of a table, falling off the table or whatnot. We still got to see the 6-man going on in the ring. It looked like a 6. It's like this. Mox and Suzuki were like fighting in their own world as everybody else is. That's why I would say it was like a 6-man tag and whatnot throughout this time. I didn't like it when Taguchi got the tag. He was looking for Mox for the trade, and then Suzuki-gun starts jumping him then after that. Even, they got to get back in the ring then, both Mox and Suzuki brawling again, just hitting these hard moves on each other. And I liked at one point when they got back in the ring for like the 3rd time, and then and Taguchi just got to stand in there groggy and whatnot. Next thing you know, both Suzuki and Mox kick him out of the ring at the same time. Like, this is between us, okay? And then they brawled outside the ring then. It basically became with Doki and Taguchi left. Taguchi ended up in the Bumaye for the win and whatnot. So, ankle lock as he tapped out and pretty much got the win from there. As Mox and Suzuki still brawl. I will say this, man. The brawl between these two gets me really hyped for this match next week. A lot of people have been waiting for this for a while now. Suzuki and Moxie are going to beat the living dog fuck out of each other next week, and I'm looking very forward to that match. It's gonna be a bloodbath. I will say that. It's gonna be a brawl or whatnot. This is a match I'm looking forward to more than the one with Jericho for the AEW title, which I'm probably gonna be going to that Revolution show. But this match between him and Suzuki, this is gonna be a fight, a brawl, and I feel like this match is gonna be fantastic when next week comes. So I'm looking very forward to that match. It's funny that Taguchi ended up taking the U.S. title with him since they brawled still to the back. NJPW announced some matches back in Sapporo and Hokkaido during July because there is no G1 during the summer this year. The G1 will not be later until the fall this year due to the Tokyo Olympics and whatnot. So I guess I'm going to head back over there in July and whatnot to pass the time. So that should be good for New Japan and whatnot. But yeah, sorry, really. Blowing my nose things really bad today. Yes, these excuse me. Man, I'm not feeling so good today. But yeah, I gotta get that Mucinex. But other than announcing that though, LIJ, Naito, Sonata, Hiromu versus Ishimori, Kenta, and Jay White. 6-man tag. Once again, another match before next Saturday. I think it's next Saturday, but for next week though, a very good 6-man tag though and whatnot. Especially for the build for next week. And with Sonata getting the skull in on Ishimori, since he was mostly gonna be the man to take the fall, since everybody's in important matches next week. He was gonna take the fall here after that. LIJ wins. One thing I do like is with Hiromu is that he took Naito's hat and walked away with the IWGP Heavyweight title, and Naito had to tell, like, give me my hat back and my title. And what I like the stuff with Hiromu and Naito is funny sometimes. Like if you go back and look at at the backstage comment, like Hiromu kind of leads the charge a little, puts his fist in the air, and then Naito puts it up even higher so he can't reach it and whatnot. So it's kind of funny with those two half the time because like I'm wearing the hat. No, I get to wear the hat this time. You don't get to wear the hat. Like just takes Naito's thing and Naito like give me my stuff back, okay? So it's pretty hilarious between those two. RevPro title on the line, which I would say the best match of the night, or maybe an early match of the year contender. Zack Sabre Jr. versus Will Ospreay. Now, this is a very different style of match, though, okay? Because, number one, this isn't your usual match. Now, these are two guys with two different styles. Ospreay, mostly a high flyer. I don't know if he's still like a junior. He's a heavyweight now, but a high flyer. As Zack Sabre Jr. is very submission, mat-based, so I'm saying a more classical style of wrestling. And you wonder how both of these two are meshed together and whatnot. Now, I have not seen their matches I've never really seen their matches in the UK, really, to be honest. The only match I've really ever seen these two against each other was actually last year in the G1 during the summer. I thought they really had a good match. But now, given more time and for this title and whatnot, this was an excellent match. I really enjoyed this. Like I said before, a lot of people are not a fan of Zack Sabre Jr.'s style of wrestling, but the submission-based holds he does is great. Because he picks apart the bones and what he picks apart from you a lot. Especially keeping Ospreay on the ground game. Especially, of course, they had some chain wrestling dodging each other from the lockup and whatnot. Ospreay, it's like this. Every time Ospreay almost tried to do a high flying move, especially doing that springboard handstand off the ropes, like Zack would grab his arm, pulling him out of the ring, putting him into a submission hold and whatnot. As Ospreay, he still kind of relied on some high flying stuff out there, but this was a very counter based match, okay? Especially from the pinfall, they kept kind of doing like roll up pins from each other, almost a whole minute it looked like, until they kind of got back up. Then Ospreay cutting off. But Zack Sabre Jr. cutting off Ospreay several times from doing dives and whatnot, grabbing him, focusing on the leg. It's like he's focusing more on the joints from Ospreay. Ospreay would counter by trying to do his own submission game, though, trying to put him in the figure four and whatnot, too, or other submission-based holds to kind of keep Zack down. But still, Zack would always find a way to counter out of submission when he would do a submission. But Ospreay hit a big drop kick, which we still saw some high-flying stuff from Ospreay on Zack taking him down. Zack even put a chokehold on him there to try to take him out after that. But Ospreay pretty much flipping him over to a powerbomb then. And whatnot. Ospreay trying to go for a shooting star press, but he got hit by an armbar there. Also, like I said, every high flying move Ospreay tries to do, it does not work. He did end up in the Sasuke special on there, flying outside the ring, taking him down, even getting to get back into the ring before Ospreay could try to once again get another submission hold on him. Ospreay coming back with some kicks, taking him down and whatnot. One thing I did like was when I think but Zack, he had Ospreay, knocked him to the ground, kind of had him dazed with those kicks, and Ospreay returning with a big forearm to the face, knocking him down, it's just a big move on him there. Ospreay hit another shooting star press, whatnot, which, Zack dodged, then tried to go for the Os cutter, still dodged, but he did get the next one on him then. Zack hit him with several PKs to the face, which looked deadly at the time. Got him with a hook kick right after Ospreay, whatnot. Setting up for the hidden blade, but Zack grabbed his leg, put him in a leg lock then. After that, Ospreay ended up dodging, pretty much get him with the Blade Sunday. Hit a shooting star press then right after that. Still did not work. Ospreay was like he's going to go for the Stormbreaker then, but it did not work. Zack had got out, but Ospreay flipped him back into the Stormbreaker. Almost got it, but Zack got out of there. Put him in like that, was it like a guillotine or the napalm death or whatnot, or what they call the Cobra Twist. Pretty much getting him, and Ospreay never tapped out. Okay, he never tapped out. He passed him out, basically. Hold on. Yes, he never tapped out. He passed out. But yes, the Cobra Twist does look very deadly when applied to. And, he passed out Ospreay. He never had him tap out, but he passed him out. But like I said, very excellent match between both of these two. I think it was given more time. Well, at least they gave it more time. I think it was better than what Sonata did with. I mean, it was better than what happened with Sonata and Sonata and Zack Sabre Jr. back in Wrestle Kingdom. I think they had enough time. It was still a good match, but this one was way better for this RevPro title. It's like they got it set on commentary. It's the first time in New Japan that two Brits have faced off for the British world title, which they've actually had these matches before, mostly with Zack Sabre Jr. or I think Suzuki sometimes for this belt. Even at Wrestle Kingdom 2, this title has been on the line. But the fact that two British wrestlers are fighting for the British world title in a New Japan ring is the first time that's ever happened. But an excellent match from both these two, and they make it work. Listen, Ospreay can make anything look good. Same with Zack Sabre Jr. So we know what both of these guys are capable of and how great they are. Especially the stuff I've said about Ospreay most of the time. Ospreay can make anything look fucking good, okay? He makes anything look good. Same with Zack. So a fantastic match between both of these two. Main event time, Okada versus Taichi. You know the story. I don't really know the whole story to this because Taichi beat Okada years ago when Okada started as a young boy and whatnot, which tells how their careers have changed in this time, especially Okada being the top guy around here most of the time. I still like his glow-in-the-dark jacket he comes out with against Taichi. I'm surprised it's went 30 minutes. This was still a good match, though. Most of this was, of course, Taichi trying to use the Iron Glove on Okada several times and whatnot, which he could not get. Even they fought to the outside. Taichi using whatever he could to heel tactics to go against Okada, using Mio Abe as a shield and whatnot. Even went for the Iron Glove again. Okada had the Iron Glove, but he didn't want to use it. Kanemaru came in for the distraction because he was on commentary. And Taichi just smacks Okada in the head with a big chair shot to the face, taking him out. Whatnot, but that still did not work. Of course, he still got ripped off his pants, which is one thing I do know. Him and Garza Jr. love to rip off their pants a lot in wrestling. Which is kind of funny, though, at the same time, too. But Taichi still had the upper hand on him then, after the pants was off. Once again, he's still using that submission, that whole neck thing he does, and still trying to get Okada, and he still kicked him several times. Okada would counter with a drop kick, though, and a German suplex. Or whatnot. Taichi still got some punches on him with a big axe bomber. Even once Okada tried to go for the Rainmaker, Taichi used the referee as a shield, kicked him in the nuts and tried to get the pin on him. Still did not work. He still kicked Okada in the head with a big super kick and whatnot. Hit the last ride on him, and then was going to go for the Black Mephisto, but Okada dodged and hit him with a spinning Rainmaker. He was going to go for another one. Taichi dodged in, and then he dodged it. He was going to go for one of those big kicks again, but Okada dodged him, hit him with a spinning tombstone, hit him with the Rainmaker. It was over after that. Okada celebrated. Pretty much, you'll see him next time back in Hokkaido or whatnot, Sapporo, and that was the end of the show. A good match from these two. Did I really think Okada was going to lose here? Not really. I didn't really see him losing, to be honest, or whatnot, because Taichi is his hometown, by the way, too, right? Loses a lot in his hometown every time I've seen him in Sapporo, but Okada, I can't expect him to get the win, especially after having the Wrestle Kingdom. A lot of people say this about Okada. Hopefully they can book Okada better without the title, because, come on, the last time he lost the championship, he went crazy and started carrying balloons, and his hair was red before he returned back to the Rainmaker. Hopefully they can, because I don't know if they're going to keep Okada away from the title for a while. Hopefully they do, because the title literally revolves around him a lot. So we'll see what happens. I don't know if this is I guess probably the end of this Taichi feud, so I don't know Okada's next feud after that. or whatnot, but this still was a pretty good match between these two. At least it's something different after they did the New Beginning shows. I'm sorry, New Year's Dash show, especially building up on a feud. So Okada gets the win here in the main event, so I'm not really surprised, but a good match though. One thing I do want to say that there are new IWGP Tag Team titles. God end up beating Finley and Juice in America and Atlanta. They had said overnight or tonight, I guess earlier in America time, because I think it was supposed to be Tanahashi and Ibushi going against Finn Juice for the titles, but Ibushi, they said, had the flu and he never even made it to the U.S. show, so he was not even there and whatnot. So what I've already heard, and they said it's on commentary, that God are the tag team champions again. So that is one thing I did want to note at the end, since they mentioned that on commentary. So Bullet Club retains the tag team belts again. Well, that was really a short reign for Finn Juice, to be honest. I didn't even see it on TV. It happened somewhere in Atlanta. They're U.S. tour right now. But other than that, though, I enjoyed both of these New Beginning shows in Sapporo. Both nights were great. Like I said, we got a new Never Openweight champion and whatnot. So, excellent match from Ospreay and Zack Sabre Jr. And like I said, a lot of previews for next week in Osaka. IWGP Intercontinental and Heavyweight title on the line. Naito versus Kenta. Mox versus Suzuki for the U.S. title. Hiromu versus Dragon Lee for the IWGP Junior Heavyweight title. IWGP Junior Tag Team titles on the line. Roppongi 3K versus Kalamaru and Desperado. Is there anyone else I'm missing? Jay White versus Sonata. Special singles match. I think that's it. I don't know if I'm missing any other match or never openweight 6-man titles on the line. But I think it's gonna be during the weekend of Korakuen to the road to New Beginning Osaka. I think that's where they do Dominion at every year in June. So it's gonna be over there this year. But like I said, still got some big title matches next week on February the 9th and whatnot. So we will be back next week for a review of that too. I think I will do a review for that next week's show also. So overall, enjoyable for New Japan. I mean, that gets the bad taste of SmackDown out of everybody's mouth if you watch these shows, because you saw some better wrestling here, I'll say that, than what the fuck you saw on SmackDown last Friday with dog food and whatnot. So, yeah, this was a better show. And this is, like I said, this is a Night 1 and Night 2 show. So we will be back during the week for maybe a New Beginning in Osaka review. But other than that, I am done with this review. Comment, subscribe. Follow me on Twitter at Hooded9890. Tell me what you think about the show. Check out any other reviews out right now. Check out my Royal Rumble review that is posted up right now with my special guest Kyle. We did a 2-hour audio review of the Royal Rumble. Please check out that right now if you get the chance. But I am done with this new beginning and Sapporo review. I'm out of here. I'll see you guys later. Peace out.